Hiya Jeff, really good session of the day. Hope you found it helpful. Great to see the backswing and the work we've done in terms of your takeaway and angles from the first lessons paying off. Just going to work now on the sort of next stage, now sort of transition in the downswing. As you were saying, from the top of the backswing, you want to try to feel the arms are kind of dropping. What we often see a lot of times is when people get to that top of the backswing, they believe they hit the ball too hard or trying to slow it down. What we really want to do from here is not slow the swing down, but just allow the club to transition down here first, and then we put the speed on. What we see a lot of times is people sort of swing a little bit out from the top, so the more speed you start putting in now, the more your arms start working out here. When the arms start working out away from the body, the club now gets what we call a little bit sort of stuck behind the hands, and now you're trying to sort of transition that golf club into the golf ball from this direction. Well, one of two things happen. One, we come down in this direction where the red line's pointing, and the ball just goes way right. Or at the last second, we use a bit of right hand there to sort of throw the club out. And we can see kind of the contact now as that right hand's done the job, right hit off the hosel. So we can work on this sort of transition here down, let the arms kind of just fall down here. So we get to this sort of hit position now, you can see the club now a little bit more in line with the target. So we come to another frame now, very much kind of in line to target there now, much better position. So for there, because you just allowed the arms to drop, we can just fully rotate, put the speed on, get a nice strike of the golf ball, and swish through to that full follow through. The left arm and the left elbow are going to fold better, but you certainly found towards the end of the session there, when your arms are just falling down and allowing the speed to happen and your body to rotate, you could actually feel as though you almost hit the ball with a lot of speed there, not a lot of effort, but really producing a lot of energy to the golf ball. What we see a lot of times is people put so much effort in, kind of from here, trying to throw that club to the golf ball here now, and because of that now the club gets in sort of stuck behind position, as we said, where the hands are sort of leading a little bit too much and the club's just a little bit behind. Not a lot, as I said, but if you actually look at the target and the impact position here now, where you strike these two golf balls, if you actually look how far the golf ball's actually moved across, we can sort of dissect a straight line there. There's kind of middle of the club, so your golf ball's moved over half an inch or so at most, so it's not miles out, and that's one of the biggest problems that people do find when they often make two swings, one good and one bad. They're so close to each other anyway, you don't really feel the difference. But what we're going to try and do is make sure we look at the ball flight, look at what contact we get on the golf ball. If we are getting that ball sort of shooting off to the right, there's been a few occasions, or chunking the ground behind the golf ball, hitting the ground really early. Very often it's sort of the body being thrown out of position because the arms are sort of trying to hit the ball too hard, too quickly from the top. The arms do create speed, the body's going to rotate and come down, but it's all going to be in a nice sequence. And I think the problem we see a lot of times is people get to here and they're so anxious with the golf ball, they just rush this first transition out, get out of position, and of course the shank on the top is caused as a result. So if we can get that sort of transition working better, let the arms kind of fall down, get that club back into a good position, back what we call in front of you, at least there now we come to the golf ball. It's a much smoother transition, ball heading down the driving range, pretty much straight towards the sort of pylon down the distance you're aiming for, and a much more consistent striking of the ground and efficiency of that golf shot. So work on that transition, keep practicing that sort of angle of it on the takeaway as well. Make sure that keeps sort of progressing on and sort of getting more of a habit rather than a conscious thought. And I say next session we get on the golf course and put all these things together and watch you go and play a few holes and see how your practice and play from the first two sessions has paid off on the golf course. So hope that all makes sense. Any questions, Jeff, obviously give me a shout and I will catch up with you soon for the next lesson. Cheers.